a proposed amendment that I'd like to introduce to both of you, and I'd like to get some support for it, to amend the Ohio legal advertising section of the ORC. There's been legislation introduced in the last 2 or 3 years, but it just hasn't come to fruition yet. Only a paid newspaper with 50% or more paid circulation can publish legal advertisements in a given community. There's been some bills out there to switch this over to internet advertising and also to allow free newspapers to publish legals. I think if the counties would be able to have bids on the legals, obviously it's going to save taxpayers a lot of money. We are in the internet age. We're certainly in the digital communication age. That there's got to be opportunities to revise the ORC as it pertains to legal advertising. Other states are doing this right now. Pennsylvania has been looking into it for the last 2 or 3 years. The newspaper lobby in Ohio has been very aggressive in opposing this. Their stance has been publicly that this is an issue of informing the public, but I will tell you from behind the scenes that's not the whole issue. It's also an issue about dollars, lots of dollars. And the large corporate-owned newspapers, they want to keep that revenue coming in, and that's understandable. However, they're not presenting the other side of the issue. If indeed it's all about informing the public, print the legals. Print them as a news story. If you want to just say, I have to inform the public in this paid newspaper, there's nothing stopping any of the newspapers from publishing free of charge. So their argument just doesn't hold water.
It's not just the legal advertising that we think about, it's all those other things that go along.
Foreclosure, sheriff sales, they come into the same thing. Technically, the attorneys are paying the bills on the legal notices of sheriff sales and foreclosures, but it's still a cost to the taxpayer. There are extra costs involved, even though in the case of the foreclosure legals, the attorneys are paying it, but it's still a passed-on cost to the consumer. And ultimately, the people in Ohio have got to realize just how many hundreds of thousands of dollars that this type of advertising is costing us every year.
Millions.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, in a small county, one county can easily be $250,000. As it shows in here, one general election was almost $60,000 in Clinton County just 5 years ago. I mean, that's a substantial amount of money to the taxpayer.
I'm in a position now where a lot of these issues that have been ignored in the past they're just thrust upon us, and it's too bad that they have been pushed off, and just there's more important things to do. Well, now we're looking for nickels and dimes to end up making $8 billion, and I think that we're probably going to see some proposals come out, hopefully in this year's executive budget, that I'm hoping that we see this as it comes out from the administration. But if not, I'm happy to work on the issue as, I'm happy to be working on this issue as it goes through the budgetary process.
It's not a front burner issue because it's not huge dollars in a $50 billion budget. But as I say, a couple $100,000 here, a couple $100,000 there, it's pretty soon it's money. Yeah. And it's something that with the technology, with the vast number of government websites, legitimate, good websites out there, there is simply no feasible reason that we can't be publishing synopsis of these legals in the local papers instead of full page after full page after full page, which is required now. Put a small ad in and refer, here's the link, here's the website, and then for those people, and let's face it, it's relatively few people who are going to take the time to read a 20,000 word legal. But we're printing them. It seems like the logical next level for this, and the public will still be informed.
Maybe even more so.